iRobusto's coverage of the 2017 IPCPR trade show is brought to you by Plasencia Cigars.
Activation here at IPCPR, which obviously is such an important event and show for this industry. You know, our family has a 152-year legacy in tobacco, started in Cuba and then in Nicaragua and Honduras. And it truly is a pleasure to be able to speak to members of the press, to bloggers, to all of you great people about our family's legacy and about where the brand is going, because we're officially launching, you know, Plasencia Cigars here now to the industry. So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce my cousin and truly the guy that's been the mastermind behind this new era of Plasencia as we take it to the world as a consumer brand. Obviously, we've been a business-to-business brand for many years, but now we're going to become a business-to-consumer brand. And it's so great to see that our first Alma Fuerte received a 93 from Cigar Aficionado, and the rest is history, as they say. So we're really excited, and without any further ado, the CEO of Plasencia Cigars, my cousin, Nestor Andres Plasencia.
Hi, thank you very much for being here. I don't have words to describe what we feel today and all these days. To seeing our name over here, to seeing all the cigars with the Plasencia name, it's give me goosebumps when I saw it on Monday when we came to build the booth. It's an amazing experience. We've been in this industry for 152 years, so it's been a long journey. Thanks to my dad, he's over here. A big applause for my dad. He created an amazing company, and we've been helping him in order to grow amazing tobacco, make great cigar for a lot of people in this industry that have trust on us in order to make their blends or supply tobacco for the great brands that they do. But now it's a different story. Right now, I talk to my brothers. We are the 5th generation, and this is our part of the family history that we have to put our name out there so the final consumer know about the Plasencia, what Plasencia have achieved. We make more than 40 million cigars a year. We grow more than 5 million pounds of tobacco every year. So that's big numbers. And we start thinking about our own brand like 10 years ago, so we start saving the best tobacco out of the best regions of where we grow the tobacco in order to create these beautiful cigars. We launched Alma Fuerte last year in October with a great response for the consumers, and right now we're launching the Alma del Campo. We also have the only organically grown tobacco in the market that we've been growing this since the year 2001. It's certified with the Plasencia Reserva Orgánica previous, now it's Plasencia Reserva Original, and also Plasencia Cosecha 146. That is a blend that we make between Honduras and Nicaragua for tobacco out of the 146 crop of the Plasencia family. That means a lot. That's a big number. And we're here in order to tell you that we're going to have more generations to come. The kids are already growing, already learning tobacco. My sons, my nephews, they're working on that also for the kids. And it's been a big honor to be in here and to be with all you guys. Thank you for stopping by. If you have any question about any of our lines, we'll be willing to answer. Thank you very much for being here.
Nestor can talk one-on-one with anybody, but obviously if anybody has any questions.
Our family history is built on resilience. Resilience for the hard times that we have to pass. My grandfather first in Cuba when they lost everything in 1965. He was 15 years old. They have to move and lost everything in Cuba. Start all over again in Nicaragua. Then they start building a nice business in Nicaragua, and the Sandinista revolution came, so we have lost everything again. They start all over back in Honduras in the year 1979. The 80s was a very tough year for us because blue mold came and destroyed all the crops, and it was year after year. But he was hardworking, never stopped. Sometimes we didn't have the money to pay the electricity bills at home, but never we stop giving a payment to our people. Right now we are a team of 6,000 people, and we feel them as a part of our family, because it wasn't for them, we wasn't being in this position right now. And because of, and also because of the hard times that we have, that builds resilience on us in order to work hard in the hardest time. And because of those hard times, we're here today. So we're honored to be in part of the Plasencia family. I'm so proud to carry that name. So it's a big responsibility to fill those shoes over here. So we need a lot of people to fill those shoes. So we're good, I think.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Alma name and what it means for the company?
Alma, I'm in love with the name. I'm in love with the name. Alma means soul. So we put our heart and soul in all these cigars. Alma Fuerte means a strong soul. So there's the strong soul that we have to have in order to achieve all the hard times that we have. And Alma del Campo means soul of our soil, of our countryside. So we want the soul of the rich soil in order to express in these beautiful cigars. So the name itself, it's amazing. So, and it means a lot to us. Any other questions? The best compliment.
Cosecha.
Cosecha is another great name. We start with Cosecha 146, which is tobacco from the 146 crop, which means tobacco from the crop 2011-2012 crop. Cosecha means harvest. So it was harvest from those for that crop. We put it aside, and that's a blend Honduras and Nicaragua. We love Honduras, you know, I'm Nicaraguan, I love my country, but I also love Honduras because it's where we start all over again, and we love that country. So we're making a blend, and Honduras has amazing tobacco as well. 152. A lot of crops, so we've been learning every year, we learn a little bit, and we will keep learning.
Obviously, private label, you know, incredible companies like Rocky Patel, Montecristo, and others. Can you speak to how many cigars a year Plasencia produces for private label?
Yeah, we produce more than 40 million cigars a year, and because of the trust of these guys, you know, we have learned big time for these icons in the industry. So we've been blessed and humble for that they trust their brands on us, and also the tobacco that we supply to all the other manufacturers, that they trust on the growing skills, fermentation skills, selection skills, in order to they use it in their own blends. So it's been an amazing journey, but this is just the beginning. We feel that this is just the beginning. We cannot rest on the success that my dad and my ancestor has. We know that we need to work hard, but we had amazing products. And the best compliment that we have is the consumers' reception, and it is outstanding. We're so happy with the reception that it's great, and it's a great feeling. And as I told you, when I see our name over there, our name on the bands, on the boxes, and everything, it's a great feeling. We love this industry.
Right here.
So how do you respond now to the FDA? How are you dealing with the FDA issues?
How are we dealing with the FAA issues?
Good question. The first thing that, you know, when the FDA issues start over, you know, everybody said this is the end of this industry, we're gonna go away. And the first thing that he says, you know, I've been out of Cuba once, I've been out of Nicaragua once, so FDA is nothing compared to what we have passed, what we have experienced. So I say, you know, this is the answer. We're gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way. We have a predicate tobacco for 151 years. So we have a lot of predicate tobacco and a lot of predicate blends. So we're in a good spot.
Thank you.
Nestor, about 80% of the cigars here have some form of our leaf in them, right? Give or take?
Yes.
Can you speak to that? Because here in this convention center in Las Vegas, as we look around some of the major brands in the world, about 80% have some part of our leaf.
Yeah, as I said, you know, we're very humble and proud that they have trust on us in order to, or we make the cigars, or they use our tobacco in that. So it's a big statement. It's a big statement, and we're willing to do it. You know, this is a part of our history. If it's a part of our business, we're gonna continue to do it. We're gonna have. We hope that the people still trust in us, And I think the success that we have with our own brands is going to elevate all the other brands that we're making for all the other people.
You know, one thing, you know, I own República with Luis Casamayor. We're a marketing agency based in Miami, and obviously part of the family. And can you just talk a little bit about the process we've been through in creating this brand from scratch? It's not every day that a storied brand that's 152 years old, you can really create a consumer brand from it from scratch, from the logo to the packaging to the, you know, every little detail has been handled with so much love and care by this generation, by our generation. Can you speak to that and speak to kind of the legacy that we felt in creating that, because it didn't exist. We had to create it from scratch.
The biggest challenge was how we could communicate all the things that we have achieved, all the things that we have done. And we talked with our cousin George and Luis Sotomayor, the owners of República, and we talked to them, to George. George, is your name on it? So you have to use your best skills in order to have an amazing packaging, an amazing concept. We start with a great getting ideas. You know, we talked that we have all this tobacco, all age. You know, we have the different ideas about the soul, about the alma, and they create with a, you know, with the logo, with the P, simplistic but elegant, nothing fancy, because this is what we are. You know, we're farmers, we're primarily tobacco growers, and then we're cigar manufacturers. But you need to have a great tobacco in order to have great cigars. So this is what we do. This is what we learn. This is what we love. And this is what we really know, and explain to Jorge all the things that we have, and because of their amazing job, and I have to tell, we're so happy with the innovative packaging that we have, the bands, the poems of Rubén Darío that we talked, you know, the amazing, the biggest poet in Nicaragua, put in the boxes, and the love that we have for the land and for the people, it represents in the packaging. So it's amazing.
One thing that I think is important is we do have a US-based distribution company, Plasencia 1865. The head of it is Carlos Padron, right back there. Big applause for Carlos Padron. Also the family attorney, but a dear friend. And Plasencia 1865 obviously is based in Miami. And from there, distribution for the whole country, correct? So, I guess another question I have, can we speak a little bit, because I know there's a story about the seed coming from Cuba, right? When the family left, and what your grandma did with the seed. Can we say that story? Because it's a very interesting story that I know is part of the family, but I don't know if that story's been told much.
No, the thing is that my grandma also wrote poetry with my grandfather. There was time that the tobacco business wasn't that good, but I always fight. And the love that we have for the seed, for the tobacco, for the plants. She make a poet of my grandfather working on the fields, and it's you know, every time that I read it is give me the how can goosebumps, but also I cannot talk very well, you know, because it's a passion that tobacco has been in the family history for many years. I get emotional. Yes.
Any other questions?
Alma Fuerte, just speak to why we launched the premium cigar.
Alma Fuerte is the first line. We create 5 lines of under the Alma lines, and the first one is the Alma Fuerte. So this is the top of the line. This tobacco we saving for 10 years. Have a lot of ligero on the blend, but it's aged tobacco, so that's all the roundness of the strong tobacco. It smooths down, so it's a full flavored tobacco. So I hope some of you guys are ready to try it. We have amazing results, amazing comments, and we're so proud with the results. So that's why we launched right now Alma del Campo.
And in Miami, there's a brewery, The Tank, that has a cigar lounge, and it's got our whole line there too, right, in Miami, at The Tank?
The Tank is a master business that my friend Carlos Padron have, the brewery, and the idea behind it is to. There's a lot of people who know a lot about beer, you know, a lot of craft beer, but not a lot of people who know about cigars. So we want the people who know about beer learn about cigars. There's a lot of similitudes, how you pick the right materials, how you blend it together, the time that you have and everything. So he's doing an amazing job. So there's a cigar shop over there. People tour the brewery and then they go to the cigar lounge to learn about cigars. And that has a lot of cigar for all the people that we make cigar for, or we sell tobacco. So it's not just a Plasencia line that he carry. He carry a lot of cigar for the industry. So anytime you're in Miami, you have to stop by and drink a nice beer. And if you have a layover, it's just 10 minutes from the airport, and have a cigar lounge also.
The first craft brewery with a cigar lounge, which is pretty cool. I have a question.
I need to know more about the organic cigars that you have.
Right, so it's important to say that both senior and junior are ingeniero agrónomos, which is agricultural engineers. So they truly understand the soil and where this comes from, and they studied it. Obviously our family has 5-generation legacy, but they went to school for this. So I guess they want to hear a little bit more about the organic, which was the first blend in the world, right? One of the first in the world, the only one in the world, the organic one, which is our Reserva Original.
Yes. That's a fascinating process, how you grow that tobacco. Growing tobacco is hard. It's not an easy. Tobacco is very, very violent plant. Since the time that you put the seeds, in about 120 days, the tobacco is like this. So you can also stir the tobacco and see the growth. So the big challenge is how you can do it organically, and we do it organically in order to have the taste of what the organic material gives to the soil. It's amazing what the land can give you if you take good care of it. When the tobacco, when you have the organic material on the soil, the roots of the tobacco go deeper and is able to absorb all the minerals and nutrients that the soil has, and that represents on the taste of the tobacco. So if you have a very good and healthy plant, they can fight against the pest by itself. We use also organic in order to get the best out of the fields. Neem, which is an organically biological insecticides. Trichoderma, which is a fungi that covers the roots of the plant. The process that you go in order to grow that tobacco is fascinating. But the most important thing is the taste that the organic material gives to the land. So we're happy and proud to be the only one. Since there, we started in 1999 to try and error. And still we have the only organically grown certified cigar in the market. So we're very proud of that. And as my uncle was saying, is how Europeans fell in love with tobacco in the 1400s, because at that time there wasn't any chemicals and pesticides. So that fall in love with the Europeans, fall in love with tobacco with that. The same taste we're saying, because that's the more similar to that.
So let's talk about Nicaragua. Well, obviously, we'd love to welcome you at any point to our factory, yes, which is, and to our fields. Our factory is beautiful. There's a picture in that slideshow over here. You can see all the pictures of it. It's called La Catedral del Tabaco, the Cathedral of Tobacco, because it's a beautiful building. But can you speak to the tours? We give tours all the time, right?
Yes. Anytime that you have a trip to Nicaragua, we would love to have you in our factory. We have my cousin here, Sergio, is in charge of giving the tours and explain what all the things that we do, all the training programs that we have for our people. Some important things that we do is giving back to the community. We have 2 daycare centers with 162 kids that we give them Montessori type of learning. It's for the daycare for the son of the workers. Most of the tobacco workers are females, single mothers, so we take care of their children while they're working, so they can focus really on what they're doing, and we get a first world education to these kids. So that's a very important thing for us in order to give the back, and also we'll secure our continually and sustainable business for the future. You have to do that. So anytime that you go to Nicaragua, it will be our pleasure to show you around, for sure.
Our family has always been a faith-based family. I know your mom also does a lot for the community there, and she built a chapel. Just speak a little bit about your mom's work.
My mom works with my dad finances. So we don't know. We help the orphanage over there. We just built a church for the Catholic Church, a night church in honor to the Virgen de la Caridad del Cobre, which is the patron of Cuba, and she blesses us every crop. and that's also very important for us. And the better that we get, the better that we can contribute, you know. And I think it's the only way that you can have a sustainable business for the years to come. And there's a blessing to doing this kind of stuff. We feel so proud to do it. That anytime that you're buying one cigar, you're supporting these initiatives.
You know, we're gonna. Any other questions? And then he'll now do one-on-ones, and the senior will also be available, or the brothers, if you want to talk to any of them. But just want to go back to one thing. You know, going back to the 152 years, and hopefully you feel it. But our family, I mean, we were raised in a very simple, humble way as growing up, you know, and that goes back to Cuba, to when it all started in 1865 by Eduardo Plasencia, who came from the Canary Islands to Cuba. And that has continued for the 5 generations. But we wanted to make sure that was depicted in the brand, in the logo, again, I go back to the packaging, in everything, that it not be ostentatious and not be flashy, that it be what the family has always represented, which is a very just unique, authentic, humble, simple, and hopefully you feel that in what you're experiencing today. So any other questions? ¿Alguien en español que quisiera que hablemos español? Bueno, muchas gracias. Thank you so much. He'll be available now for any questions.